Hey y'all, it's Dalanie.
And it's Katie, and this is Classically Black Podcast.
Where we talk all things classical music and being black in the profession.
For now.
That's insane. And I meant to pick that episode clip when we came back and you was like, you might see smiling faces and friendship and whatever as soon as we started the show.
When was that?
See, you didn't even remember how you be terrorizing me. So.
Oh, brother.
Oh, and you know why you did that?
Oh, my God.
You know why you did that? It's because you spent 20 minutes describing that vulgar idea you had. And then...
Wait, which one?
See,
the cats one?
The cats one. And I wasn't receptive to it, and that's how you chose to start the show, because of that. So.
It seems apt.
Anyway, so no trap beats playing in the background. It's insane.
With trap beats playing in the background.
Yeah, I finally got there. That's what it takes to get Katie to do her job. So,
all right. I know. You know what? I'm not gonna give you what you want because I want to air this out. If I wanted to air this out,
okay, but we both would have air. We both would have air.
But you got way more air than me.
I don't know about way more.
Oh, way more.
Way more, Katie?
You told me you didn't open something all week. It's midweek.
No, I said in days, but then I realized I did on Monday.
And today
is Wednesday.
And that's not an insane thing for the nature of the thing we're talking about.
But that doesn't mean I didn't do anything.
The one little itty bitty thing that took 5 seconds to do that you said you did.
Okay, but there's also a day in between. Over the period
of time, there's a lot to do it.
But there was a day in between in which I also
did that one little bitty thing. Do the amount of time it's allotted to do that particular
not too
thing.
Much because you love, I'm getting my lick back, I'm getting my this, my that. I'm not saying I'm not worse than you. I definitely am worse than you.
Okay, that's all I wanted.
Definitely worse than you. Like, yeah, I definitely got to clean that up real bad.
But it's like, but then I try to clean it up and it's like I could just not.
Like, but I do need to. I gotta get to where you at. And then,
but I feel like they would have said something.
Yeah, but it's just.
It's like how it feels.
It's just better, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
And also, like, it would help with just my overall routine. So just.
I feel that.
So, anyway,
we got there, y'all.
One day we'll be honest.
I don't think I'll ever admit that on the internet, actually. Because yours will be funny. Mine's is kind of like, because like the amount you do and get away with it.
I feel like it would both be funny though, because it's a part of the come up.
It is.
And I feel like that's important for people to know also.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe one day when I'm far removed.
Right.
Far.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start with this one this week. The New England Conservatory just announced a new scholarship for string instruments. Sorry, y'all. I know. Y'all
God,
say
we're gonna hear from the women's again. Strings get everything. Blase, like.
Well, I'll tell y'all. It's in honor of Japanese violinist Masuko Ushioda. It was established from a gift from her husband, who's a cellist, and their child. Both their children actually. They have 2 children, along with their families. Her husband, Lawrence Lesser, along with Ushioda, joined NEC's faculty about 50 years ago in the 70s, and they were faculty members for 39 years and taught over 140 students at NEC. So it's going to be the Masuko Ushioda Dean's Scholarship Fund, helping string students at NEC. So if you get your excerpts out, getting another degree, sister. Imagine you packing up, moving to Boston.
I went to Joe and Melissa White's masterclass, and like very phenomenal teaching, phenomenal play, all that. My hot take's actually about masterclasses, but it has nothing to do with them because that's why would I be talking about those two? And I was just like, wow, I'm so happy I'm gonna do this no more. Like, oh my God, I'm so happy I'm out of that. A lot of y'all down though, GT, but like that whole school stuff, that whole Bach prelude stuff, like I did have more learn this week though because the cellist that Joe was working with, and I was like, I forgot I wanted to learn that
prelude. I love the prelude of 6 weeks.
Bass play, he had a little snarky comment about that. He was like, bass player is playing this now, and I said, what's the tea there? And the room laughed. I felt like I wasn't in on the joke.
No, that's not really one that we usually play.
I don't even know how that would work.
Yeah, it's difficult. I mean, the suite's difficult in general, but yeah, the whole 2 and 4th thing.
Yeah, when that 6 suite is like, this is 5th.
Yeah.
5th.
Right. So yeah, but yeah, some people are playing it, and also I feel like that is interesting because I feel like people don't realize how like non-standardized the bass is. It's a newer instrument, and like it's really like there's a lot of variation. I know there's variation with y'all with the different the methods and stuff, different schools. Some people have a little different bow hold, whatever, but it's like
it's more straightforward with viola.
So people using completely different bows. People using, you got an extension, you got a 5-string, you got a bent end pin, a straight end pin. You sitting, you standing. How many yoga? Now you got yoga blocks. You got this. I've seen somebody with a yoga block, 1 on one foot and like 2 on the other.
At a certain point,
it just comes to a freaking point.
I be trying to judge the girls, but like the cello and bass girls, it's always some type of furniture y'all moving around. Like
really bad. Like I've seen some people with some ridiculous setups.
It's just like, girl.
I think I've seen somebody with 3 yoga blocks on one foot. I'm just like, you really want to carry all that? Like 3 yoga blocks? I think I considered the yoga block thing, and I was like, it comes to a freaking point.
What is it to stabilize your foot?
I know. I don't even remember.
What more stabilization do you need if it's against a stool?
And it's also, I think also is with the stool height and stuff. And I'm also like, if you need 3 yoga blocks under your foot, you need a shorter stool, first of all. Shorter stool, lower your end pin. Like, because
at a certain point, you just want to play cello.
Like, yeah, and that's another thing. How high up do you sit and how low? I used to sit quite low. Now that I think, I wasn't thinking about it though. I just like, I didn't really give any thought to the setup properly until I was in college. I literally just like, we saw a stool. It's like, some people sit down, because I was standing all the time. And I forgot why. And then there was a time where I was sitting sometimes, standing other times, simply because when I was at school I didn't have my bass and the thing, and I didn't have a stool. I didn't take a car to school, so I just stood and I just kept standing. And then
when I taught public school, my bass player sit, because that's just what I was taught. Because my Dr. Blockers was a bass player, and he would just always berate the bass players who stood in the first week of orchestra. Because apparently I'm not a bass player, so please, but just stabilize the instrument and whatever.
I guess, but you should learn how to do it standing. Like I've learned, like, because I started standing, and I'm like, you should be able to not touch the bass and the bass stands,
right?
But you have to find a spot. The spot for it to happen. So like, yeah, it'll stabilize it, but also when you're nervous and your legs start shaking, that's
something I'm just happy feeling. Because I'm like, what if you fall off a stool and with the bass?
Like that's the worst, when your left leg starts shaking your bass. So now the entire bass is shaking.
I'm sorry, I don't play no instrument. They ain't got no type of situation. Like I was talking to Chantanique about the flute. I'm like, so your lips start shaking, your whole sound is like viola. It's just like, we gonna do what we doing. Like we just gonna do what we doing. Like obviously your hands can shake or whatever. Well, you pop a little perk. I'm just playing. It's Y'all
see that?
A little beta blocker. It's all
y'all heard that?
A little fentanyl. Could you imagine?
Katie, not you.
Fentanyl will go triple platinum in music schools.
That's insane.
They are insane.
That's insane. Katie out in the green room. Could you imagine? It's not that serious. It's freaking Brahms.
Like, please, I'm begging. If you gotta take a Percocet to, like, maybe this is not for you, Stink. I don't know. Go into accounting. Like, it's just not for you. That might be rude, but like, please lean in when I say, if you gotta take a Percocet to get through a box suite. Yikes. Oh no. And I am judging. We listen and we judge harshly.
Beta blocker. I know you're a beta blocker babe.
I'm a beta blocker babe. BBB.
Right.
Man.
I've never tried it.
Listen, I be chilling. You be chilling, like.
Yeah. I mean, I never did anything that I felt like I needed one for.
Oh yeah, I feel you. What else you want to hear? A little Mendelssohn. What else you want? Well, you want a little Mozart 40? Like, yeah, why not? We having a good time.
One hand tied behind my back.
Like, yeah. What else you want to hear? You want a little Bartok? Yeah, come on, you a Bartok girl. You don't be shy when you ask me. Like, you ever just having a good time.
Alrighty. Well, now that we've had our, we really need to figure out how to put that explicit sticker on our
like
episodes.
Real bad. Can you imagine you're freaking like you're in high school? You're like, oh, like it's all
high school. Grow up. The world is around you. But
this episode has been off its axis since the.
I mean, come on.
The world is around.
I mean, high school. Watch Degrassi. Like, it's a lot worse you could be doing in classical black, but which we know because. Anyway, let's get to the next news story for this week quickly. All right, so the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra has partnered with Snapchat on a new augmented reality tool that will help music lovers to explore sound through a visual medium. I was like, come on, y'all, with the whole tech partnership and classical music trying to be cool, trying to be hip.
Yeah.
Snapchat. Okay, so it's called The Colors of Music, and it's an AR lens that shows a 3D representation of the notes that are played live by an instrument, translating them into colors or in shapes. I was like, I wonder if they had somebody with synesthesia.
Yeah, that's what I was like. How y'all figure out what color to make it?
Yeah, it says that users can access the lens in the Snapchat app and scan live instruments to see the notes represented in real time. They're hosting a free live concert that's gonna show what the lens can do, and it's hosted, if you are in London, at the South Bank Center. Oh wait, hold on, this is in the past. Never mind. I be queuing stuff.
What is going on today?
Sorry, let me. If you were in the South Bank Center on January 26th, then you would have seen it.
And we wondering why freaking NPR not calling us. In just 12 short minutes, mind you, we've talked about Percocets. We've talked about events in the past.
Okay, it's a show about classical music. We stay talking about events in the past.
I mean, to be fair, most of it's in the past.
Exactly. So it's not even that much in the past.
Wrapped it back around.
Exactly. Let's get this is the classically. And the Percocet was the black. No, I'm just I can say that though.
I don't want to do this anymore. I really just like I want out.
I wonder if we can do the lens since it's on Snapchat, because I know that they partnered with it. I wonder too if it was to develop the technology, because I know at the partnership was like they had some cellists there so people could try it, but then after that event it was available on Snapchat, so I'm gonna see about that. But yeah, apparently the RPO, they conduct audience research every year, and they did a questionnaire last year that revealed that 34% of adults viewed social media platforms as playing a key role in helping them discover new music. So, you know, classical music trying to get their little piece of the pie. Since this new AR project is part of the orchestra's commitment to exploring new ways for their audiences to interact with the live music experience. The director of global brand experience at Snapchat put out a statement saying, "People love using Snapchat to message their closest friends and family, to engage with their favorite passion points, from fashion to sport and music. We're excited to partner with the prestigious Royal Philharmonic Orchestra to see this AR experience create new ways for Snapchatters to enjoy live music. Whether you're learning a string instrument and sharing progress updates with your friends, or you're a professional sharing a new melody with your fans, the lens ignites imagination like never before. It's as simple as scanning an instrument through Snapchat." Yeah, so I will link this in the description if y'all want to learn more about it. And yeah, we should see if we can try it. I know that Snapchat had a partnership with LACMA, the LA County Museum of Art, and they had like some type of AR thing where you could go around the grounds to see the art and stuff like that. That was a while ago though. You know, I said I was gonna go, but so we should see if we can do this.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's the news this week. Thank God. Okay.
Okay, so there's this account I follow. Actually, I don't even know the comedian. I don't even know if he's a comedian or what, but it's called Subway Takes. And like, it's just so funny. So I thought we could do that. We've done hot takes on this show. Oh, Subway Takes, I feel like it's on every social media platform, because I see him on TikTok sometimes. And he, like, when he went to Chicago, did L Takes. I was like, Love that. So I thought we could do like, what's your take, and then I'll say if I agree or disagree. 100% disagree, 100% agree.
Okay, I'm going first.
Oh, I could go first, but we always do this, and you always go first. So I just thought.
Okay.
Episode 310. So.
Okay, so I guess I had a hard time thinking of something, but one of mine, I feel bad, but I feel like classical music kind of boring. Not like the music, not the music. Look, like, please, the music, T. But like the culture, like people who I think that people who think classical music is boring are not pulling that out of nowhere.
100% agree.
Like
the field is a little boring.
Yeah, the field, the culture around it. Like, I think there's beauty in it. And when I say the culture around it, I don't mean like Western European culture, but I just mean like the culture around like the whole going to concerts and you like this. And like, I see how people, if you don't interact with classical music a lot, like that being kind of weird, you know. I've been around it, and that's how I prefer to listen to classical music. Like, I'm not trying to mosh at the classical music concert. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not trying to mosh anywhere, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Like, I'm fine sitting and whatever, but I do think that like it's just I see where y'all be getting at from.
My situation, I asked them if like when you go to a LA Phil concert, he got a little stressed out, and I was like, we could just, I promise, it's just like we just the music is good. You got to worry about that.
Oh, your situation. My situation. Ah, okay. I see. Because the other situation.
That's fair.
This is also the situation that only you have. That's how we could differentiate.
That's right. The situation only you have. Well, me.
Yeah. Only
the situation only I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I meant to ask you that.
Yeah, you got a little stressed out, and I was like, okay, so just.
I meant to ask you. We got to talk about that.
You're not going to combust. Like, it'll be fine. Like.
Oh, I meant to ask you that literally yesterday, but we talked about so much stuff.
It'd be. The time be. Like, I can't say that. The times be hilarious when we do it, because it's like, let me go see if I got something for my situation. It's been 2 hours. But yeah, I agree. I think the field can be boring. I think like classical music is at its best when people aren't being pretentious, which is rare. But like at the Sphinx party, when the girls were they started strolling. I've never seen strolling at Sphinx before. I said, we are getting closer and closer. Like, and there was an alpha there, and I was like, I couldn't see. He got, I mean, I would get mad too. But I was like, oh, I didn't know you were cute. He's like, I am not a cute. I said, I can't. Whoa, I'm very short. Everybody was, but I thought he looked like he was hopping. Anyway, but he's an alpha, and there was a delta in there. He's like, okay, come on. I'm like, I haven't done a stroll since 2020. I don't even know. I don't know no more of them. But like that.
So you didn't do it?
Strolling by myself is insane. No, I mean Delta, she was up there by herself, but no, I don't know any stroll. I forgot. Admitting that like on the internet is crazy. I forgot my little wipe me down, but I forgot my strolls. I haven't done a stroll in so long. Oh, I miss my line sisters. But I was like, this is classical music at its best to me. Like, everybody's having a good time. It's not. Everybody here is accomplished. Everybody here is in arts admin. Everybody here is in whatever. And I'm not saying we need Glorilla to like make classical music at its best. I'm just saying that like this is just people like being people, like just being like not being pretentious. Like no one's better than nobody. Like everybody here. You got people who won Sphinx here. You got people who was playing on stage. You got arts admin. You got whatever. Like people. You have the best of classical music here, and it's like we just having a good time. Like, but yeah. My hot take is that if you want to see the worst teaching ever, go to a masterclass.
Ooh, and she was just talking about how she was.
And
I
knew
I'm just kidding.
No, I was so excited to see Melissa White teach because I've never seen her teach. It was amazing. She was just really kind, really patient, and then Joe is like, yeah. I mean, I've seen Joe teach before because he's ripped my excerpts apart. So. Seen me be read with my own eyes. So I'm not talking, but that's why I want to clear the air. We wasn't talking about that. But like, yeah. We want to see the worst teaching and they get away with it. But you play it again. You want to see somebody who can't teach? Go to math class. I hate that so bad. Like sometimes I'm trying to figure the last master class I went to that 8 down. Besides Joe and Melissa. But I'm talking about like for me, like
maybe Mr. Taylor. But that's a different because he was your teacher.
He was right.
Because that's like studio class to you.
I just feel like you're not going to find good teaching at masterclass.
Dang. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. see I remember I can't say where, but I went to a piano master class. I'm not gonna elaborate, and I can't say that part either. But what I will say, I went to a piano master class, and I watched that man waste the entire time. First of all, it was already an odd number of pianists in there. Like, it was an hour long, and there was 4 pianists. I think that's like literally pointless. They were kids, but still, like, and he had all of them work on steady beat for 30 minutes, just walking back and forth up and down the aisles. And I texted someone that we hung out with.
I know. What are you talking about?
Yeah, with someone that we both share in common. I texted him and I was like, this is some BS. And he was like, that's their problem.
Oh, because it was.
Yeah. Because he got nervous because he thought it was like us. And I was like, oh, no, that's them. He's like, oh, girl, I don't care. But it was terrible. I'm like, you were wasting some of. These are kids of different ages. You don't even know. You haven't even heard them play yet. You don't even know if they all need help with steady beat or whatever. And I watched that man waste 30 minutes. And so the point that the kids had to, no. I forgot. These are 45-minute sessions. So because I remember the kids had to like just play a little thing, no comments on the stuff. They just played, maybe one thing. Played, and that was it. That was the whole masterclass. If my kid, especially like I know what I knew, and my kid, like I'm like, pack up, let's go. Like in the middle, me on stage, let's go. Because I'm like, you're wasting. Also, like if you're at one of these things, you more than likely have paid to go to a masterclass. Like because I used to go to Viola Day, which is, I mean, it's probably way bigger now, but the Ravinia used to do a Viola Day like during the winter, like at their inside place, and like you're paying like $100 for the day to like take master classes and do all this other type of stuff. And it was lit when Viola Day first started at Ravinia because like not a lot of people were there, so you could get like 2-3 master classes. Hey, you know, and like yeah, I watch somebody waste my time because sometimes people like if you go to like really, that's why I said this is kind of across the board. That's why I said it's not Jomo. Like please, I beg, I would never talk about my friends in that way. Especially like I saw Melissa like teach her, she had a cellist because Sphinx like unfortunately I think it's like whatever, I'm not gonna speak on that, but they're all semifinalists, like that's who they're working with, and she did it down because she's a good musician, you know. But like I've watched like really good teachers like try to give me masterclass before like I started to find my stride with viola, and it's like you don't even know how to teach me because like at that time I remember like I didn't have a vibrato yet, and you're like, yeah, so viola, huh? Like it's just like you want to see the worst teacher in your life, go to a masterclass.
I saw a masterclass that was at a bass thing at Oberlin, and I understand like when you have a student that's like you're doing amazing, like people are starting to play the bass younger and younger and younger, and this was this little tiny girl. She was probably like 7.
Oh, with her little baby bass,
like 7.
Bass sound like chalk.
Played the second movement, Dittersdorf, sounded incredible.
Really
incredible. And this was like right at the beginning of me like being around any bass players that wasn't like in Yola. Mm-hmm. So like knowing that like, oh, there's other people that play the bass and like, you know, and way better than I do, you know, because I've said many times about how I went to Interlochen and was dead last, you know, but so I didn't even know. I was like, what? It was Francois Rabath, who is a big name for bass because he's like the pioneer of the bent end pin. And
that bent end pin thing is weird to me. Yeah, I mean, I'm a violist, so like I wouldn't come across it like
it's very strange. Like I've
why you want it?
I don't know how they do that, but for whatever he got something figured out because Francois Rabath, how old is Rabath? He's probably 80 now. About that, but that was like, I think the summer before my senior year of high school, and he played. I remember that concert so vividly because I was begging for it to be over, only because I was so tired, and it was like 2.5 hours long. Like, he played the entire time straight. Nobody but the entire time straight. Like, but anyway. He so he has something going on with it. He's pioneered a couple different things and is also a composer. Oh, that piece I played on my the only piece that sounded good besides the Prokofiev on my junior recital.
Thank you.
You know this kind of Spanish one?
Yeah.
He composed that. But she played her thing. He gave her like a kiss on the forehead and was like, he was like, "You're fine." Didn't say anything to her.
And that would have pissed me off.
Because it's like, I understand that she was good, but like
she's 7
there's
also.
There's a bunch of people here that wanted to play in the master class and you didn't replace her with anybody. And it's like, that could have been a slot for somebody else, or she regardless, she wanted her teacher or her parent, they wanted instruction and she didn't get it.
Like, took her all this way, probably, like, and also, you don't have nothing to say to a 7-year-old. There's always something to say. That's one thing I will give, like, I'll give her many things. But my undergraduate teacher, like, George won't make you say something in studio class. Like, he will go one by one and make, you could say no comment, because every once in a while somebody will blow something out the water. One person, Neil, he went around, everybody was no comment, except for
what
one.
I'm finna say.
Except for one, and you know who? That person who was like, we shouldn't be looting because
I knew, and that was exactly who came to my mind.
Of course, I forgot his name too. Oh no, I don't remember it. But yeah, that loser. But you are a dweeb. Because no one, you have his peers. First of all, he's a grad student. I feel like deference is a lost art, because I'm not saying you should praise the ground that people walk on, but there should just be a certain amount of respect for the fact that, like, this person is in grad school and you are a freshman. So freshman is insane. I also already didn't like that. First of all, nobody cares about what you have to say. No tea to freshman. I'm just saying, like, that's kind of like, I don't know. I just don't like that. And also, Neil has a job now and you're doing nothing. So, but like, he went around, he played even Mr. Taylor was like, damn, I'm jealous of yo, whatever. Mendelssohn was so clean you could eat off it. X episode T, the British were coming. Like, it was insane. Everybody was like, no comment. But like, Kate would be like, she might call on, I don't remember how she did, because I haven't been in her studio in over a decade. But like, I don't remember, she would call on you or whatever. And one time, no one had nothing to say, and she was like, a room full of educators and nobody has anything to say. Whoa. I was embarrassed. But also, now I'm really not raising my hand, because like, now it's gonna be because you said that, now I'm raising my hand. but like, she ate with that. Like, there's always something to say. Yeah. Like,
and that's why I get, like, he not really an educator. Like, you're a big name.
Sure.
And like,
that would have pissed me off.
It's not really your bag.
I walked out.
Like,
also, don't kiss my kid, like, because now I'm getting mad. Like,
he European.
That's what they do.
Yeah,
that's what they do. But now I'm in my feeling. I didn't care about it before, so you.
Right. That's insane.
No, but oh my god, yeah. So I'm so happy I never play math class again.
I'll never say never.
Can you imagine me with getting a DMA? I would self-destruct if somebody gave me a syllabus. A D, M, and A. All 3. Girl, I will cry. No way. I'd rather get a PhD than DMA.
Okay.
Together?
Girl, I would literally die.
I would die.
Like, I really think I would perish.
I think I would pass away.
Like, I would perish, for real. Like
school's behind me. I've done enough school.
Like,
I've done so much school. I have 4 degrees. I've done no more.
My sister was like, I already know you're finna go back. I don't know, girl. Actually, I do know. Like, I can't, like, the thought of that. First of all, I think I'm dumber now than I was last time I was in school.
I'm definitely dumber.
Like,
I'm definitely dumber.
Something would really have to happen. I'll probably have to get brain surgery before I go back.
They said do lobotomies. Just said, like, I feel like something. I did something else.
Like,
it's, you know, it ain't gotta be a big lobotomy, like just a little.
Lobotomy, you couldn't do nothing after that though, because you would be.
Wait, lobotomies, you were brain dead after. That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know if you're technically like brain dead in the way that but you're just like, you're not yourself no more.
So I do like a half lobotomy.
Yeah, you have to get something. Like, I would have to get like maybe that electroshock therapy thing. It's insane they were doing that to people.
Lobotomy's correct. You stuck a rod up somebody's nose.
Like,
no, through their eye. Wait, both.
Yeah, it's through the eye.
People are so dumb, and it was just like kind of like, yeah, fine. The brain, out of all things, you stuck a rod in the brain.
I mean, that was their goal though.
The computer.
It was for it to you not to work no more. So
He was a zombie.
Yeah, basically. I wonder. I'm gonna look that up after we done. When was the last lobotomy?
Anyway, well, related.
All right, so this is actually the first episode of Black History Month.
Oh wait, we shall.
But actually,
right.
Yeah, that's Black
actually,
History
I ate
Month
that up.
Yeah. Black History Month.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Period. So it's funny because it's like we always be like, what we finna do Black History Month, but it's like every
year we're like, we gotta do Black History, and then 2 weeks later we like,
because it's like the show already black. Dang, it's
we gotta talk about history,
and we always like black. We gotta get blacker. We gotta How do we? Ooh. How do we? Ebony
how do we?
And Noire. Maybe if we painted ourselves black, which
we could never just leave it where it is. Like,
we could never just be like, we do this every week, whatever. But it's like Black History Month. I feel like that's something of recent years. That's been a thing for me. It's like, what we finna do, and then Black Music Month. That's us twofold.
There's a Black Music Month. No, I mean, of course that. Of course, it's a Black Music Month.
June.
That's right. I knew that.
You definitely knew that.
No, I knew that.
We've talked about it
because
before.
we've planned for it.
Right.
We had a plan last year for it that was way too.
We should do that.
But why do we always wait till months before Black Music Month?
But we gotta do that.
But we could do that. We have time this time.
Yeah.
The last time we thought about it in April.
Yeah. And remember
like
that one
14th.
thing we tried to do? We thought about it like it was at the end of October. When we was like, for Christmas we could. And we love throwing something together. But anyway, so for Black History Month this week, I mean, we are doing Black things as usual, but we decided to lean into the little Black history part of it. I don't know how we landed on the March on Washington, probably because it's a whole bunch of bullshit happening on Washington right now. Maybe that's why. But we wanted to talk about the music of the March on Washington, which is, if you don't know, when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his I Have a Dream speech. And yeah, we want to talk about the role that music played in that day. Music from Black musicians and also just from musicians in general. Yeah, talk about that.
Yeah, I have a quote that I wish I could read my own handwriting. But like, oh yeah, there was a quote that from NPR that was like the music of like that the movement was like the glue of the movement, and how like music was a huge propeller of the civil rights movement like in general. And I thought that was so interesting because even if we did parallels to like what's going on now, like I don't think we really have that.
Yeah, because I feel like the civil rights movement, to be fair, the civil rights movement is kind of it's in a class of its own in terms of movements. And so it was like everybody was really within reason, because I know history. I know that not everybody was on the same page within the civil rights movement, but like as a whole and in hindsight, the way that we can look at it today, everybody was really, in a more general sense, unified behind this collection of issues that could be all put together to become the civil rights movement. And so I feel like it was like easier to get behind. Now it's like there's like a general, it's more like the two-party, like the general, like we can't let that get back in the White House, where he's sitting right now. But there's like, there are also like some causes that like celebrities might adopt, but like, I don't know. I felt like maybe it was a bit easier for people to get behind one thing. Like we were just talking about the whole "We Are the World" thing, and they got behind, a bunch of celebrities got behind the one cause to do that. So I feel like it's hard to parallel it now. I mean, you have the parallel of, like I said, like people rallying behind a certain politician. You know, Beyonce was at that thing. And who else? Eminem performed at one of her rallies in Michigan. Meg.
Oh, Meg. Glorilla.
Glorilla. Yeah. I think who else? I can't remember who else.
Yeah, I can't really.
But I know Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. But yeah, I feel like that's our version. Except for Black Lives Matter, that's probably the last time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess it's not really a true, like what you're saying, it's not a true parallel. But, yeah. So the girls descending on Washington, 250,000 of them.
For jobs.
And freedom.
Which we love.
And there was like, I was reading an article and it was talking about how, like, this is the moment in time where it was like, we're singing these songs and like it's actually happening like in real time, you know. Mm-hmm. Do you know anybody who went to?
You said what?
Did your grandma go to the march?
I doubt it.
Yeah. But some of the music that happened there, there was like a huge like presence of like gospel music there because like the Black church played such a huge role in the civil rights movement. So I just feel like by default, a lot of the songs were gonna be gospel songs, spirituals, hymns, whatever. And one of the main ones was "We Shall Overcome." That was who sang "We Shall Overcome"?
Who sang?
Well, did someone sing it, or was it like they was singing it while they was walking?
I think. It says that it was like one of the group songs that the crowd said. It said Joan Baez did "Let the Crowd" and "We Shall Overcome" and "Oh Freedom."
Yeah.
I was gonna say one of the in terms of gospel music. I mean, Mahalia Jackson was there, and I can't remember the name. I can't remember if it was. I know she sang "How I Got Over." I can't remember if it's that one, but I know that MLK's favorite song was by Mahalia Jackson.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
She also sang this other one too. Was it "I've Been Buked, I've Been Scorned"?
Yeah, people being buked and scorned.
Yeah, and buked again and buked again.
Like, oh my God, I can't too much because what we've been through.
And we have to go through it again. I was when we were preparing for this, I was like, what will MLK think about this?
You know that episode of the Boondocks?
Oh,
you remember that episode where it was where MLK, he didn't die, he went to a coma and he woke up like the early 2000s. I just remember that one sound bite from it where he's like, people are arguing and whatever, and like one of the main parts about it was like he became like destitute because like people hated him because they asked, it was like after 9/11, and they had like asked him like, what do you think? And you know, he's nonviolent, whatever, and you know, it was like mega patriotism after 9/11, and he was like, well, I think we should turn the other cheek, I think we should do that, and everybody was like, you think we shouldn't fight back? So everybody started hating him. But I just remember like something happened and all these people was like arguing. It was like black people in his voice, and he's like, "Will you ignorant niggas please shut the fuck up?" I just remember that soundbite. Oh my gosh, it's so hilarious. Oh my goodness. So maybe that's what he would think. Actually, he would be thinking that, and I think that too.
Yes.
Like,
I feel like he'll be so disappointed. Like,
so this way, what y'all had going on?
But also kind of makes me sick because I'm like, I don't like, okay, so you watch black people make all these advancements and you just like, you know what, we just gonna wait it out. We gonna wait it out and we could just reverse all this later on. Is that what they were thinking the whole time? That is sick. You was just like, we'll get y'all little equal. Did that get rolled back to the Equality Act, the Equal Employment Act?
No, not the actual act.
But he, like, whatever he did to it was undone.
It was an executive order by Lyndon B. Johnson, but it was something specific to the federal government. There's a whole lot of crazy stuff going on, like how he's trying to shrink the government, offering people a 7 months payout to leave their jobs. So I wonder who they're going to be replaced with. Probably loyalists. Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to... We'll see. It is what it is. I don't know.
I'm just saying. Like, yeah, that's kind of just like how it goes. Anyway. Yeah. In terms of gospel music, also Marian Anderson was there, who, classically black, obviously an opera singer who sang "He's Got the Whole World in His Hands." And there were also some popular music performers there.
Like Bob Dylan was there, and saying like he wrote that song he wrote about the assassination of Edgar Allan. That's a poet.
Edgar Allan Poe.
We're gonna have to cut that out.
Why? Oh, Medgar Evers.
Medgar Evers. I was almost there.
Ooh, that was a sad one. They're all sad.
That's the one in the driveway.
Yeah. They just was doing too much. Like, why would y'all? Why'd y'all
in his driveway?
Like, black people been going through it, honestly, and now I feel bad because I'm like, and a lot of y'all can't even stop shopping at Target. Can't not get your Starbucks. Can't not do this. I gotta get. Yeah, I might have to clean that up. I mean, I don't shop at Starbucks or Target, but I mean, I have, but like it's not a regular thing for me. But I'm using that as an example. But like in general, like I gotta really. So what am I willing to? Because people gave so much. Like your driveway, they got you. That's insane. You're on your hotel balcony. Like it's just too much. It's too much to think about. But yeah, Bob Dylan.
His song. So.
Which one was that? Only a pawn in their game. Which, yeah. Apparently, what I was surprised to find out was that some people criticized him for having so many white people performing.
Care to comment?
I mean,
it was a different time, and like they trying to do something so big. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like, especially because it's not like I'm sure they wasn't getting paid to be there. You know, like it's not like I just feel like I don't know. If they want to perform, like,
let them perform. Especially like Bob Dylan. Like we're not talking about like some random dude.
Yeah, like I also feel like it's a part of. I mean, it's not about them in terms of what they want to state, but like also they're stating their position on this, and it's like
allyship is very important.
It means something to have Bob Dylan up there, and it's like we also had a lot of other people up there, and I don't know.
So Josephine Baker was there, was she exiled? Like, how does that work? If you exiled, is it just like how did she come back?
I have no idea. I don't know nothing about her exile. I forgot she was exiled actually to this moment. But I wonder, like, something of this scale. I mean, we've had stuff large, like there's a women's march, and although I heard the women's march was kind of last year. I heard it was. Or they had a women's march. Maybe it wasn't the women's march. But I just heard, like, I think it was like they tried to have a march after Kamala lost. And everybody was like, yeah, girl, we don't want to do that. You're right. Especially because it was something like white women organizing it. People was like, yeah, so we mad at y'all right now.
Yeah. That's what we marching for now.
Like, right. I mean, I guess.
Solidarity.
Yeah, I guess the whole, like, letting y'all know, maybe sending a message just because y'all won don't mean we finna go down without a fight. But that was the fight, and we lost it. So
now what?
Father God. Yeah. Anyway,
I just feel like I feel like we just gotta get out of January. January is always such a long month, and like Trump's not making it any shorter. So it's just like, let's get to February.
I mean, by the time y'all listen to this, we will be in February, so we'll see what happens.
We'll say Black History Month. Probably not, actually.
But that's fine. It never gave, like, because y'all recognized it was the reason why. Like, it's always, unless you erase it from my brain, then
it's always February will always be,
like, it's finna be that. And you started declassifying some of the files on MLK?
Wait, what?
The FBI files? The declassifying.
So what? What they find out?
I don't know if they're all done. I know that they ordered them to be.
I didn't even know you could do that. It looks so final, like when you draw black.
I don't know. You can because they do every year. I think every year they declassify some.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
I want to figure out that whole. I don't know if it's a conspiracy or what, because every time you Google it, nothing come up. But then people be saying it like how he didn't die when he was shot. He died at the hospital, and somebody like suffocated him. You hear that?
No.
Yeah, like when he went to the hospital, he was not dead.
Well, I knew that. I knew he died in the hospital, but I thought he died because he had been shot.
No, they like suffocated. That's what the girls are saying.
Who's saying that though? Because
I've heard a couple times.
People love
a thing.
They
That's
love
a thing.
a good.
So I was like, can we just clear that up?
It's like we don't even really need no conspiracy theory because we know that it don't need to be no conspiracy because we know they just outright want to kill him. So, but I wonder.
Can you imagine being like, this is a stressful time. Like your dad got assassinated.
I remember what I remember about it was that stress played a role in it. And that like he was only 39, but
where did he get shot?
I don't know. I think maybe the chest, but I don't know.
But I bet he was stressed out.
Yeah, that his heart was like 70, even though he was like 39.
Really? I mean, I believe that, but
could you imagine Martin Luther King Jr.? I can imagine his life. Like
I couldn't imagine his life. I couldn't imagine. That's what I was saying. Like, yo, you went to school the next day because your dad got assassinated. Like, what is your life as one of his kids when they was throwing a bomb in your living room? You eating dinner at the table and there's a bomb in your living room. Coretta Scott King, like,
yikes.
I want to see where he got shot. Like, what is your... And there's probably, like, every time you leave the house, you think you finna... Like, I might not come back home.
Yeah.
And that's a realistic... Like, everybody... To some degree, everybody thinks that, like, oh, whatever. I mean, I don't think it every time. I'm like, oh, my God, I might not come back home. Like,
yeah.
But like... like, that's, like, a real possibility.
Yeah.
And it's the FBI's against you. They could be anywhere.
Yeah. Especially like, and then once you start seeing people getting picked off like flies, and that's why it's so amazing when you see people that have grown old, like John Lewis got to grow old.
And they, oh my God, black people have been through so much. Like black people have really been through a lot.
Like, Father God,
he got his skull cracked open on Selma on that march in Selma. Skull cracked open. Imagine bleeding out in the streets. Like,
I just remember somebody.
It's fine, you don't have to say.
No, I remember. Like, I just want y'all to know who we in a group project with. That's where I really like. Somebody was like, "Well, it was something about like protesters getting like arrested and stuff like that." Like, it was like, "Well, people not doing stuff. They doing stuff illegal, and they couldn't just do it. They could model after MLK, and that's why he never got whatever." And somebody was like, "So did you think that the letter from Birmingham jail? Did you think Birmingham jail was like the name of the mall, or that was just a creative title? Like, he was in the jail. The letter was from the jail." I'm like, these are the people that we're in a group project with.
Yeah, maybe I would delete my
history be damned. Actually, no, not even history. Reading be damned.
Well, they can't read.
Hearing be damned.
And then it's like, someone made a good point, like, they're not reporting on nothing. And I'm like, this girl was like, yeah, so they do report on stuff. You cannot use TikTok as your news source.
They saw that whole thing, which Kamala better than me because I don't even know if I would have did all that pandering. When they got onto that whole thing about black men not wanting to vote for her, like whatever, which to be fair was over exaggerated. Black men vote pretty in high numbers for Democrats, but she came out with that plan, Kamala's plan for black men. Because were you there for all that discourse where they was like, some black men, they was like, well, she really wants to, whatever, she would take on child support and what. I was just like, that's insane for you to bring up as one of your number one issues. Insane. But
child support you can. It's so easy not to have a baby. Stop nutting in women. Like, what?
So she came out with this whole thing. It was like her points for like, catered towards black men. And somebody had just like posted or whatever, and somebody was like, why didn't she say this while she was in office? Where do you think the screenshot is from? I mean, not when she was in office, from when she was running. I'm like, she did. Oh my God. Y'all have never ever in your lives visited the website, done any tried to. You think that stuff is supposed to just show up for you in your on your magic light box in your hand, and you never once question where that comes from, how it's curated, who decides what's shown to you. Do you think that the algorithm is something that is completely neutral and just shows you whatever is most important and whatever is the best for you? In many cases, quite the opposite.
Yeah. Y'all got it.
Y'all got it real bad.
Real
and
bad.
Unfortunately, now he got us. So,
oh my God.
But you know who else got us? God. So,
Jesus Christ the Lord. Normally, that kind of, as a Christian girly, I hate that.
Mm-hmm. But at some,
this is the point where I'm like, well, yeah,
we gonna have to fall back on that.
Actually,
we gonna have to fall because certain stuff is really only in his hands.
It's really
it's above
God got it.
I went down to the thing. I did my ballot. I down ballot every little thing bubble I did. Yep.
Anyway, we should move on because we have our live stream tonight, which means nothing to you because you missed it probably if you're listening to this.
But if you're on Patreon, you can watch the replay. So
it's true. Also, he got shot in the right side of his face. Jesus. The bullet entered his right cheek, traveled down his neck, lodged in his shoulder.
That sounds familiar now. Cheek. Jesus.
The bullet broke his jaw and several vertebrae. Whoa. But y'all couldn't have that kind of aim for... Oh, I forgot this on the internet. Okay. All right, y'all. It's time for Black Excellence. We hype you up, gas you up, and give you your props because there's room for everyone at the top. Who are you talking about, Dalanie?
This week... Oh, I forgot to say that in the news. The Sphinx competition happened. Right. I completely forgot to say that in the news, but it did. And in third place was Brendon Elliott on violin. So that's my Black Excellence this week. Period. Brendon got his bachelor's degree from Curtis, studying with Pamela Frank and Joseph Silverstein, which I did not know that he went to Curtis. Then he got a master's degree at Juilliard.
Really? He looks like a baby.
But he come from that, the esteemed Elliott family. So, shout out to Sterling, his brother, who won Sphinx, right? Sterling won Sphinx. I remember that. Yeah, won Sphinx. He's so Brendon is a 2-time alumnus of NPR's From the Top, which, if you don't know, is a nationally syndicated broadcast for young musicians. He's toured with the Virginia Symphony Orchestra playing the Hailstork Violin Concerto. He's also performed William Grant Still's Mother and Child at the Martin Luther King Memorial Concert that was broadcast on the radio. He's a 3-time concerto competition winner. And he's also appeared as a guest soloist with the Richmond Symphony. He's performed with the New York Philharmonic, the Sphinx Virtuosi, Chamber Orchestra, the Orpheus Chamber Orchestra, Chineke Orchestra of the St. Luke's. He is giving very much jet setting, very much. I'm that girl. He also has been a performer at several prestigious summer festivals, including Aspen Music Festival, High-Fids International Music Festival, Eastern Music Festival, Sarasota, and Chautauqua. Oh, and Tanglewood. So shout out to Brendon, period.
Okay, Brendon, period. My piece of the week is Amen by Carlos Simon. Thank you so much for listening to Classically Black Podcast. Don't forget to follow social media at Classically Black Podcast.
It's a good pick.
Please join us in the Ebony Tower. That's patreon.com/Classically Black Podcast. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch y'all next week.
You lucky I can't think of nothing else to say.
Thank God. Isn't God good? God, we thank you. Amen. And I tuteler.
Bye, y'all.